Second Esdras, chapter 8 and verse 50. For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world because they have walked in great pride. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakakadash, for blessing me with the spirit to do this lesson. And here you are in the spirit of Thanksgiving and Black Friday, judgment from Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. So here you had a mall in California. I forgot the name of the mall that fast. Valley something. I forgot. During this Black Friday sales event, which is not really a sale, but whatever. They didn't just get deals on things. They got a scare for 3 people. They were, wounded. They got shot. And we've been telling you that the Lord is not playing with you people here in America, because here in America, you people are very proud, man. You don't think anything can happen. You let the warnings go over your head. You rather not listen to the warning. You rather just keep living on with your life and keep committing sin and keep doing wickedness in the sight of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. So therefore, you're going to receive judgment, man. Right? Here it is. You're thinking that you're going to go out and, have a good old time catching a deal, buying and shopping. And next thing you know, boom. It ain't safe out here no more. But people, especially the younger people, they don't give a shit, man. It's all about feeding their flesh, man. Right? So the Lord said in the last time, in the last days, which we are in, that many great miseries was going to come to people like this, man. Right? It's going to be in many forms. This is one of them. So let's check it out. How about Shemal Shah willing? The elect the other five. Shalom.
Breaking now at 11 o'clock, gunfire erupting inside the Westfield Valley Fair Mall in San Jose on one of the busiest shopping days of the year. 3 people were shot in what's been a chaotic Black Friday. Shaken customers seen running from the mall while police cleared the scene. An investigation is underway right now as we are gathering new details. And Eyewitness News reporter Abigail Velez is in the studio right now with the very latest on this shooting. Tragic situation.
Absolutely. This is the last thing you want to happen right after a holiday. But David, this is what we know just before 6 o'clock. And with that mall packed for Black Friday, this is when this all unfolded. And you can imagine how fast panic spread. Police say this was not an active shooter, but rather an argument that escalated. Tonight, the suspect is still out there.
This is the moment fear erupted inside the Macy's at Westfield Valley Fair Mall in San Jose on this Black Friday.
And they said it was caused over an argument. More than likely, somebody cut somebody off, right? They was in line, somebody cut somebody off, and that just stirred things up, man, because during these holidays, you got a lot of demons out here, right? Or somebody got something, somebody won, and that was the last one, or whatever, man. People will have this notion of consuming. They have this thing where if they feel like if they buy themselves materialistic shit, that is going to give them peace and happiness, when it's not, man. Right? They're giving you a lie, or feeding you a lie, making you think that you getting a deal when you're not, man. Right? And a lot of these people, they don't even have money like that. They spending their credit cards, right? They're going out and using their last little bit of funds that they got. They probably backed up on their rent. So you got a lot of people out here that are upset. You know, you got a lot of people out here that are fed up, and they looking to inflict harm on other people. You know, they don't give a shit who it is. So, yeah, man, the pride here in America is at an all-time high. Here it is. This country is about to go to war. The Lord is about to return. The gospel is going out. But yeah, you still got people proud as hell, man. Because it's America. Right? It's America. America has this demonic spirit on people to where no matter what's going on, you can still be proud and you don't have to worry about it because we got it all handled. When that's a damn lie, man. Right? But the Lord said this, Proverbs 16 and 18. Pride goeth before destruction, and the haughty spirit before fall. And who's more proud than the average American citizen, man? Nobody. Right? They walk out with their head held high. Right? Everybody else is beneath them. And all other countries, they see this. Right? And then now America is so divided where, you know, people in this country, they hate one another. Right? So this is a recipe for disaster, and that disaster is about to flow over, man. Right? Boil over the pot, so to speak. What I read earlier was it says, for many great miseries in 2nd Ezra chapter 8, verse 50, it says, for many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world because they have walked in great pride, man. And here in Proverbs 16 and 18, it says, pride goeth before destruction. So first comes pride. And then after that, your ass is destroyed, man. Right? That's what's going to happen to America. That's what's going to happen to the citizens of America, those that love America. Right? Destruction is on your ass, man. Right? Let's finish.
Screaming and sprinting out of stores with bags in their hands after gunfire broke out. Law enforcement sources tell ABC News the shooter was with the group when a fight or argument broke out. Officers say he opened fire on the victims at around 5:40 tonight, then took off with several women who had strollers.
2 patients, possibly 3 at this point. Shooter still at large. Scene is not secure.
3 people were shot, all with injuries that are not life-threatening. But here you can see a single bullet punch through a store window, sending glass in every direction. From above, you can see just how crowded this mall was. A packed parking lot, thousands of cars filling spaces at one of the Bay Area's biggest shopping destinations. Black Friday usually pushes this mall to near capacity, and tonight San Jose police had to clear it store by store. Investigators are calling this an isolated incident, not an active shooter. Police say they're now reviewing surveillance video and interviewing witnesses, hoping to identify the shooter and the group he was with before he ran off. As of tonight, that suspect is still outstanding.
Now, we're still working to learn more about that suspect and the group he was with. San Jose police are asking anyone with information or video to come forward. Live in the studio, Abigail Velez, ABC 7 Eyewitness.
Yeah, man. It's dangerous out here. It's dangerous, man. So this is the same thing, just another clip. 3 people shot in a mall in San Jose. Well, this is Genesis chapter 6, verse 5. It says, and the Most High saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. So people always looking to do evil each and every day in this country, man, on this earth. Right? You got people out here looking to do evil and commit acts of violence every single day, man. This is why it happens every single day. Verse 11, the earth also was corrupt before the Most High. This place is corrupt. Why? Because who's in charge? The wicked. Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, and the other nations, they are the leaders in this kingdom, chiefly the so-called white man. This is why this place is corrupt before the Most High. It says, and the earth was filled with violence. This is all you see now on the news, violence. right? Gruesome deaths. It says, and the Most High looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted his way upon the earth, man. Yeah, you got everybody corrupt. It don't have to be murderers, scammers. It can be robbers, right? Liars, right? You got everything under the sun happening all at once in these last days, man. Right? So this is why you're seeing what you're seeing.
San Jose's Valley Fair Mall on lockdown tonight after 3 people, including a 16-year-old girl, were shot inside of the Macy's store. That's our top story tonight on Crown 4 News at 10. I'm Noelle Bello. The victims are in the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries, and there's still no word on any possible suspects. Crown 4's Jack Mulmid joining us live now from Valley Fair Mall with the very latest details. Jack, a scary night.
Yeah, Noel, that's right. Police are telling us that at this hour, there is no ongoing threat to the public. Now, there were some social media rumors going around earlier this evening, calling this an active shooter situation. We can tell you watching at home, that's simply not true. When we talked to police, they told us that this is an isolated incident. The suspect was not targeting shoppers. It was just possibly an argument between 2 people. But still, you have many shoppers who were here on this Black Friday leaving frightened.
Everybody was just doing their normal shopping.
Everyone was just screaming. It was complete chaos. It was crazy.
Devastated. I've never experienced something like this in my life.
Chaos on the busiest shopping day of the year at one of the South Bay's busiest malls. Valley Fair shut down as police and deputies evacuated everyone after 3 people, including 1 minor, were shot inside a Macy's. The call came in at 5:40.
You know, I'm 28 years old and I feel like I've experienced a lot. There's nothing that equates to, a life or death situation like this when you're dealing with the unknown and you're dealing with an unknown threat.
Ali Dinesh ran outside the store with his family, but some of his group had to barricade themselves inside the store.
A lot of our family members have mobility issues, hearing issues. So even if they wanted to escape, they couldn't. My heart's still pounding thinking about it.
Luckily, people who had to barricade inside made it out after about an hour of waiting.
I think it was at least an hour. Yeah. There was actually a lot. Like I had to call parents and just making sure like everyone was safe.
These women also had to barricade. Other people running and oftentimes pushing people out of the way.
Something in me just like I needed to run. Like I didn't want to be there anymore.
SJPD confirming that they were able to confirm the shooting is isolated and there was no active shooter threat.
We can say for a matter of fact that this was not unsuspected shoppers that were targeted here. This was an isolated incident with 2 individuals and unfortunately 2 others who were injured.
And as Black Friday is a busy shopping day, the weekend may be just as busy. SJPD saying that they're planning on beefing up security around the mall.
Matter of precedent, we always usually bolster whenever we have incidents like this with additional security, additional patrols here at the malls.
And on Friday, officers spent the next several hours patrolling with rifles and canines. Still, many people shopping on Friday, hoping for a peaceful Black Friday, are leaving feeling uneasy with a suspect still on the run.
Hopefully people are safe because it's actually very scary. And I think
see, me personally, I've never liked crowds like that. I can't be around a lot of people like that, man, because ain't no telling what can happen. You don't know what's on these people's minds, man, especially these people in the world. Like this woman right here, she said all of a sudden she didn't want to be there. See, when she was going, it was all good. She was pumped up. We're going to the mall. We're going to have a good time. We're going to buy some stuff, this and that. And then boom, chaos happens. And now she don't want to be there. This is how people are going to be when this society collapses. And when the Lord returns, man, everybody, the Lord's word, his gospel is going out throughout the 4 corners of the earth now. Nobody wants to listen. But once the Lord puts hell on this place and the Lord returns, everybody going to have their hands stretched out to the Lord, thinking that he's going to just save them. You're not going to want to do what you was doing before the Lord returned, man. You're just going to want the Lord to accept you. That's not going to happen, man. A lot of people are going to die, man. And rightfully so, because you people are arrogant, you're ignorant, you can't tell you nothing, you're proud, and like I just read, pride goes before destruction, man. Right? Let's get 2nd Ezra 7. 2nd Ezra chapter 7 and verse, wind it back a little bit. 2nd Ezra chapter 7 and verse 19, it says, and he said unto me, there is no judge above the Most High, and none that can understand, and none that have understanding above the highest. Nobody understands anything over Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. The Lord is the judge, man. He's the ultimate judge. What he say goes. It says, for there be many that perish in this life because they despise the law of the Most High that is set before them. Now, this is speaking to you Israelites, man. You so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans. Right? There's nothing wrong with going shopping and, trying to get a deal or whatever. But when you scoff at the Lord and you don't want to hear his words, then it's a damn problem, man. You can do the things in the world, but just do it in righteousness according to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Right? The Lord never said you couldn't enjoy yourself, man. Go out, get a bite to eat, go to the mall with your family, whatever. You can do all that. Right? So it says, for there be many that perish in this life because they despise the law of Yahweh Shem Yahushua that is set before them. The Israelites were only given the law. Right? It says, for the Most High have given straight commandment to such as came, that, Salakia, what they should do to live, even as they came, and what they should observe to avoid punishment, man. The Lord gave you the blueprint. He said, follow my laws, have faith in me, not just faith, but do the works, which are the commandments, to the best of your ability. Show your faith, right? And you won't meet punishment. But the masses of our people, 2/3 of our people, they chose the latter, man. They chose to do what they wanted to do. They chose to side with America, man. So that punishment is going to come upon them. It says, nevertheless, they were not obedient. They didn't want to listen unto him, but spake against him and imagined vain things. Yeah, we got it covered. This is America. We in America, man. America put a spirit on our people of pride, man, that they can't be judged. America got their back. America is going to make sure that they're good, right? But what they're seeing now is that the one who they chose to vote for, the one that they chose to dictate their life and their livelihoods, lied to them, man. Right? But yet they still got the shopping, they still got the convenience of buying food wherever they want, and they still got the convenience and the everyday life here in America still going on. So, they don't need to worry about nothing right now. Right? But little do they know, and what they're going to find out is that life does not revolve around them. Right? It doesn't. It's either you get right while the doors of repentance is still open, or you don't and you get destroyed. It's on the Lord's time, not yours. It says, and deceived themselves by their wicked deeds, and said of the Most High that he is not, and knew not his ways, but his laws have they despised, and denied his covenants, and his statutes have they not been faithful, and have not performed his works, right? And therefore, Esdras, for the empty are empty things, and for the full are full things, man. Yeah, a lot of these people, they are empty, man. They don't know nothing, right? Their spirit is empty. They got the spirit of the world on them, and they don't know a damn thing. The ones that are full are the ones that are in this knowledge, man, that understand judgment, that understand what time they're living in, right? And that's what that is, right? Is a division here in on this earth, man. You have the ones that serve the Lord, that's that's striving to serve the Lord, and then you got everybody else that's gonna be damn dust real soon. That's it, man. Let's finish this off. I got one more.
It's actually very scary, and I think there should be like a change. There should be a change, definitely a change, because I shouldn't be scared to go to a place because somebody else has, like a weapon.
And you heard some of those scary scenes there in that story of people having to barricade themselves in dressing rooms, inside other fitting rooms and shops for up to an hour. Very scary, intense moments indeed for those people who had to flee immediately once they heard the bullets. They tell us that they expressed a lot of panic, people pushing each other over, trying just a sea of people trying to get out of this corner of Valley Fair Mall here. But when we did talk to police, they told us there were thankfully no other reported injuries from people who were rushing out of the exit there. Noelle?
That's at least good to hear, Jack. I know it's still an active investigation there in San Jose tonight. You were saying this is an isolated incident. Did officers specify how they were able to determine that? Did the victims maybe know the suspect?
That's something that people are still trying to figure out. If the victims in this case did know the suspect, what we do know is that there was one victim in this case, and two other of those victims were people who were just struck by gunfire during the shooting. I mentioned earlier that this was possibly an argument between two people, but you could see with those tense moments and how crowded this mall was, two people did catch those stray bullets. But police officers did actually say, because it is Black Friday, because it is such a busy weekend, that a lot of officers who weren't even supposed to be working today were working some security jobs, some extra money here at the mall, and that when officers who were on duty did respond to this shooting threat or the shooting that did happen, when they showed up, they were able to talk to those officers who were technically off duty at the time, but still pitched in and still tried to decipher the situation and give an all clear to the public that their lives weren't in danger.
Yeah, always good to have extra set of hands. Jack Mulmud live for us in San Jose. Thank you so much.
There's no way you can stop this, man. This is 2 Ezra 14 and 16. We're going to shut it down. For yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter. For look how much the world shall be weaker with age, so much the more shall evils increase upon them that dwell therein. I'm going to shut it down there. And evils are going to increase. Kohalo Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah. Hey, man, to the next lesson. Shalom.